Hey guys, welcome back to another adventure. This time I will take you to Tuscany. We flew to Pisa, from where we took the train to our first destination, Florence. So guys, we just arrived to our B&B. It's called Bianca B&B, and I love how, for Italy, this is such a huge room. It's very nice. So the plan for today is to explore the city. We don't know where we will start from. We were supposed to meet with Curtis for lunch at 12, but he is not feeling very well, so we will hopefully get to meet tomorrow. So I'm talking about Curtis Ryan Woodside. If you are new on my channel, he is an Egyptologist and a filmmaker, and I just love his documentaries. You should really check him out if you are a fan of ancient Egypt. And if you have seen my previous Egypt vlogs, you know who I'm talking about. And my outfit for today is this cami top and these pants that I got actually from Alcudia in Mallorca. If you've seen my vlog, you might recognize them. I think they look so nice together in this combination, and yeah, it gives me that, that Italian vibe. So I think for Florence, it's a nice outfit. And of course, I can't forget my Curtis Ryan Woodside cap. Okay guys, so we're going to start our exploration day. We're going back to Piazza Santa Maria Novella. We will check that out, the baptistery of St. John. We will probably visit Piazza della Repubblica as well. And we just... we definitely need an Aperol. So yeah, I have my PDF here, by the way. You know that I'm always prepared with my PDFs. So yeah, we'll just see. We have today and we have tomorrow, and it's only 11:30 a.m. so we have enough time to explore the city. After dropping off our luggage at the B&B, we took the tram into the heart of Florence, arriving at Piazza Santa Maria Novella. Before our sightseeing even began, I couldn't resist picking up a few beautiful postcards, one of my favorite souvenirs to collect from every trip. Our first stop was one I'd been especially excited about, Officina Profumo-Farmaceutica di Santa Maria Novella, the oldest continuously operating pharmacy and perfumery in Europe, founded back in 1221. The moment I stepped inside, I understood why so many people recommend visiting this place. The vaulted ceilings, beautiful frescoes, antique wooden cabinets, and the scent of Tuscan herbs create an atmosphere unlike anywhere else I've been before. It's hard to believe that this elegant space began as a pharmacy run by Dominican friars who prepared herbal remedies, balms, and perfumes using recipes that have been preserved for centuries. Today, it's famous around the world for its luxury fragrances, skincare products, and home scents. And the best part is that visiting this little piece of history is completely free. From there, we continued to one of Florence's most iconic landmarks, the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. No matter how many photos you've seen online, nothing quite prepares you for seeing it in person. Every detail of the marble facade is breathtaking, and standing beneath Brunelleschi's magnificent dome,
I finally understood why it's considered one of the masterpieces of Renaissance architecture. Our walk then took us through Piazza della Repubblica before we stopped for lunch at a lovely traditional restaurant called Locanda de' Medici. After a busy morning of exploring, a delicious Italian pizza was exactly what we needed. With our energy restored, we continued towards Piazza della Signoria. Along the way, we came across one of Florence's most beloved symbols, il porcellino. According to local tradition, rubbing the bronze boar's snout is said to bring good luck. And of course, we couldn't live without trying our luck ourselves. A few minutes later, we arrived at the Piazza della Signoria, where the impressive Palazzo Vecchio dominates the square. Here you can also admire a replica of Michelangelo's famous David, standing proudly near the palace entrance. Before leaving the area, I made one more stop that was high on my list. Near the Uffizi Gallery, I wanted to find the statue of Galileo Galilei. It felt special to stand in front of the monument dedicated to one of history's greatest scientists. From there, we made our way to one of Florence's most iconic landmarks, Ponte Vecchio. With its colorful little shops built directly onto the bridge, it almost looks like something out of a storybook. And, of course, no afternoon in Italy would be complete without a delicious gelato. After that, it was finally time for a place I had been looking forward to for months, the Galileo Museum. As someone who loves astronomy and space, this was easily one of the highlights of my time in Florence. The museum houses one of the world's most important collections of scientific instruments, many of them dating back hundreds of years. Walking through the galleries, I found myself surrounded by antique telescopes, sundials, globes, clocks, medical instruments, and ingenious devices that helped shape our understanding of the universe. One exhibit, however, completely caught me by surprise. I almost walked right past it, but something made me stop and read the information panel more carefully. That's when I realized I was standing in front of the museum's most unusual artifacts, Galileo Galilei's preserved middle finger. I definitely wasn't expecting that, and it was one of those moments that made me stop and think, wait, is this actually real? I'm only sharing a few highlights from this museum. I filmed a lot more, so I thought I will make a separate video in order to keep this vlog shorter. So you can later check that out too. And of course, the cherry on top was Thomas Edison's gifted phonograph to E.P. Fabry. And naturally, I couldn't live without stopping by the museum shop. Between scientific books dedicated both for kids and adults, I left with some pins. So once I finished exploring, I met up again with G, and together we returned to Ponte Vecchio. Dating back to the 14th century, it's the oldest bridge in Florence and one of the few that survived the Second World War. It was once home to butchers and fishmongers, but in the 16th century, the Medici family replaced them with goldsmiths and jewelers, a tradition that continues to this day, making Ponte Vecchio one of the city's most recognizable landmarks.
Buongiorno everyone! So right now we are in Firenze, and yesterday we explored a little bit the city because we had an early morning flight, and so we got here at around 10 a.m. We checked in and we had the entire day to just explore, even though we were so tired. So if you know me and if you've seen my previous travel vlogs, you know that I always make a PDF. And so if you don't, then well, I always make a PDF with the places I want to visit, and they are categorized by days. So I will insert it here so you can follow along. Yesterday, we've seen quite a few things, places that I had here on my PDF. So today will be more of a relaxing day, and hopefully we will witness an amazing sunset. And as for the outfit of today, I have this really cute lemon print top. It's corset style, but it's stretchy in the back. I got this from someone on Vinted, and I paired it with some white jeans. I think it looks really nice. I didn't have any other ideas what to pair, what kind of pants or what to pair them with. So I think this is so nice for like an Italian summer.
Our second day in Florence began with a mission. We wanted to return to Il Porcellino, hoping that an earlier start would mean fewer people and a chance to capture some photos without the crowds, but the plan didn't exactly work out. It was even more crowded, so we decided to move on to our next stop, which was trying the famous affogato at Vivoli. But once we saw the long queue stretching outside, we quickly changed our minds. Instead, we found a quieter little place called Vivaldi, tucked away from the busiest streets. Honestly, it turned out to be one of the best decisions of the day. The affogato was absolutely delicious. It wasn't that Instagrammable, but like, I don't even care. The atmosphere was peaceful, and sometimes choosing the less popular option ends up being the better experience. Well, the affogato was lovely, even though, I mean, we wanted to go to Vivoli, but it was so crowded. It was a huge line, so many people waiting. So, you know what? Vivaldi is, I guess it's more affordable. It was like €5, and it's in a quieter part of the city. So, and the place is really nice. So yeah, it was a win. It was delicious, and now we're going to Foto Automatica to take some pictures. Next on my little Florence bucket list was finding one very specific photo booth. There are several vintage photo booths around the city, but I had my heart set on the bright red one because, let's be honest, it just looked so much better on camera. We waited for our turn, squeezed inside, and walked away with one of my favorite little souvenirs from the trip. Somewhere between all the sightseeing, we grabbed a delicious focaccia, which unfortunately disappeared before I even remembered to film it. And since no trip to Florence feels complete without it, I also stopped by one of the city's famous wine windows. These tiny openings in the walls date back to the Renaissance, when noble families sold wine directly from their palaces. I chose Babae, the closest to us, and with almost no queue, it was the perfect place to enjoy a glass of local wine while taking in the atmosphere of Florence. Then we slowly made our way towards one of my favorite places in the city, the Rose Garden. The walk uphill rewarded us with increasingly beautiful views over Florence. The garden itself was peaceful, filled with roses, sculptures, and panoramic views that made it the perfect place to slow down for a while. From there, we continued to Piazzale Michelangelo. Our goal was to watch the sunset from Florence's most famous viewpoints, but we had arrived much too early. So we climbed even higher to San Miniato, and the view from there was incredible. It was quieter and it was more peaceful. By now, the summer heat had definitely caught up with us. My phone battery was almost dead. We were both thirsty, so we went back to Piazzale Michelangelo, where I had a Moretti beer, which was like the best thing. It was so good. As the golden hour approached, we returned once more to San Miniato to enjoy the changing light before making our final walk back to Piazzale Michelangelo. And as Sebastian Soto would say, the crowd was crowding, but honestly, it was one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. The setting sun cast a very beautiful color over Florence, and it was just the perfect ending to our trip in this city. If you enjoyed this vlog, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm sure you don't want to miss our next adventure in the Tuscan countryside. See you next week!